Welcome to the Plumbing Marketing Guy podcast, hosted by Eric Keith. Throw a wrench in your competition. In this podcast, you'll learn how to better market your plumbing company and make more money. Get a steady flow of new customers. The Plumbing Marketing Guy podcast. And now, here's Eric Keith.
Hey, I'm Eric, and welcome to the Plumbing Marketing Guy podcast. This is episode 1. Thank you for joining me today. Just want to give a brief overview of who I am, a little quick background of where I've came from. My dad, he's done plumbing. He learned it in the military, and he's been doing plumbing all my life. And I've been out there with him doing plumbing when I was knee-high, out there digging ditches with him, out there running in attics and crawl spaces with him. And I even did even through high school and through college. I was helping him on the side to help my way through school. And afterwards, I gained this interest in internet marketing, and I started doing affiliate marketing, actually making money online, doing other kinds of sales and marketing products and other people's products where I get commission off of it. And in that meantime, I was able to also market his business, online, build his website and market it and get it out there and get him number one placement in Google and other search engines. And I just seen when he was actually getting more and more calls, and we started getting more serious on the service side, because mainly he was just interested in new construction. So the website really didn't help too much for that industry. But when he moved into service, he needed to actually reach people, and a website was just an ideal way of doing that. And I had the skills to be able to do that, and also rank it, and also market it actually on the site, and actually tailor it to selling his services, to actually get the prospect to pick up the phone and give him a call and schedule a service time. So I think I'll share some tips and some strategies that you could use today to help market your plumbing business and get more customers to call you guys. So the first thing I was going to go over was an introduction, or just maybe a review of the changes that have been happening in our culture. The phone book, that's what my dad used to do. He just used to, go to his local phone company, or, whoever hosts the local phone book, and just say he wants, how big of an ad, and they'd talk prices, and it was kind of expensive. So most times he wouldn't be able to get the biggest ad like some other companies were able to. But he was able to get enough calls to keep him busy, and that progressed, and it came around to how the phone company was actually costing him more than it was bringing in, and he knew something had to change. So then he just stopped basically advertising altogether. But then I was able to show him that everything's pretty much moved online. Some young people don't even know what a phone book is. So I was, in fact, a story of that. I was walking in my driveway after they delivered the phone books in my driveway. I just picked it up and walked straight to the trash can, threw it away. And then I realized when I was throwing it in the trash can what I was doing. And it just resonated with me, and I thought I'd mention that to you guys here in this podcast, that that's what many people actually do with their phone books, is when they get it, they just take that and go straight to the trash can. In fact, let me ask you, when's the last time you used a phone book? I bet you it's probably been a good year, a couple years since you've actually, looked at a phone book. So with online activity consuming the behavior of people in modern day society, it's imperative that you have an online presence. And I was going to go over a brief overview of internet marketing that you could use, and I kind of created this pyramid so I think it'd be easier for you to follow and comprehend the different milestones or foundations or levels that you need to actually create to build this online presence. I just call it, the plumbing internet marketing pyramid. And at the base of the pyramid, if you can imagine it, the base of the pyramid is a website. And that first level is your foundation. You got to have that if you want to have an online presence. That's your foundation. Everything builds on top of your website. So we have a website. We need to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. Because everybody's on their phones, and iPhones out there, Droids, everybody has smartphones. I mean, it's going to be very rare for you to find someone that doesn't have a smartphone, and everybody does. They're out on the go. They're on go here and there. They do Google searches on their phone, and sometimes if they have voice requests, they like talk to Siri and ask them to Google something. And Google's very mobile. Everybody uses their phone, to browse and search for things. So you need to make sure if they Google your site and your site, or if they check on your site on their phone, that they can actually see it without like pinching and zooming in. They can the site automatically adjusts to their screen so they can read all your services, and also even tap your phone number and be able to call you within your website. So that's a major must that you need to have, because I looked at a statistic the other day. It was like 42% of all web traffic is actually mobile. So you need to make sure your site is mobile. So, half of those people that look at your site is probably going to be on their mobile phone. So you need to make sure that it tailors to them. Another thing, to have a mobile site and just also your desktop site, you need to have a simple site. Many times I look at plumbing company sites and it is just busy all over the place. If you looked at it too long, you'd get a headache. But what most people think is, well, if I throw this out there, they'll see, this service and this service. I just want to throw everything out there. Well, most of the time when you try to market everything, you usually market nothing. If you think of Apple, simple sells. So everything they've done is super simple, and I think they have the best marketing in the whole world, the best company marketing ever. And if you start mirroring your site and your looks, after something that's simple, just like they've implemented and mastered, that's what you need to do on your site. Just have it simple, and so it's something that they can read and easily read. And next thing, you need to have your phone number prominently placed on your website. Many times customers will go on there and they're in a hurry. Maybe they have an emergency and they look for your to call you, but they're having to look all over your site for a phone number. You need to have your phone number. The best spot is to have it in your header in the upper right hand corner. And a good thing maybe is to make that color, or the phone number, a different color than the rest of your site, so it sticks out like a sore thumb. Also on your home page, maybe have it somewhere in the middle, among your text or something. Have your phone number prominently placed, and also have it click, like text, not a picture image, because when you view it on a mobile phone, most mobile phones will detect that's a phone number, and they just be able to click it and it be able to dial you. And that would make it super convenient for your customers to call you. And that's what you want. You want it to make it convenient for your customers to give you a call. Something else, you need to make sure that, this also goes back on having your site simple, is your site speed. because so many people are on their phones. Their cell service may not be the best, so you need to make sure your website fully loads in a quick amount of time. And also, many people don't have high-speed internet, and so when they look up your website and it takes several seconds to load, they may just hit the back button and go to someone else if their site actually loads on their computer faster. Okay, so we went over having a website. That's the base of the pyramid. That's what we need to have to even think about having an online presence. Okay, what's the next step? Well, the next level of our pyramid is SEO. That's an acronym for Search Engine Optimization. And basically what that is just a technique of getting your website ranked higher in the search engines. Yes, that is possible. Yes, you can actually do things to actually get your site to rank higher and higher in search engines. Why is that important? Well, everybody does do Google searches now, and everybody's online. Like I already went over the behavior, everybody is online. Most of the people never ever go to the second page of Google when they're looking for something. Usually it's only the first page that gets the majority of the business and clicks. And the higher up you are, your statistics are higher of getting more of those clicks, more of that business. So you want your website to rank higher and higher. So it's the first website that people see, and the first plumbing company that when someone does a Google search in your city, you're the first one that comes up. That's why SEO is so important. There's a couple different techniques. One is, it breaks down to two different things you can do. One is on-site SEO, and those are things that you do on your site. That's how you word things to get your site ranked. Having a lot of service pages, and having the city that you service in, have that written in there, and different things, having H1 tags, H2 tags, and we'll go over this later in maybe a later podcast. I'm just wanting to go over a brief overview of what you need to do. Having a site that can't be found, if it's off in page 4, you're not going to get any calls. Page 2, you're on a fine line if you'll get maybe 1 or 2 calls ever. So you really need to be on the page 1 of Google for when someone types out your city plumbing or your city plumber. Those are the best keywords that you can search for. And you probably need to get a list, get a notepad out and start writing a list of keywords you want to rank for. So you can go through your website and make sure those keywords are things that you could rank for. So have it sprinkled throughout your site, and do some other SEO techniques to get your site ranked for those keywords. One way you could get keywords and see how many people search for it every month, Google gives you this information. So if you'll just pull up Google real quick and type in Google Keyword Planner, and you'll have to have a Gmail account and activate your AdWords account, and it'll let you use their tool, and you're able to type in maybe your city plumbing and hit search, and it'll pull up some relevant keywords, and it'll also tell you how many people search for your city plumbing every month. And that's a very good number to know. And it'll also show you other keywords that people in your area is searching for, and it'll tell you how many of those are being searched for each month, so you can see which ones are going to be important for you to actually have on your list and focus on. I would suggest that you only get maybe 5 to start out and to try to rank for, so you don't get overwhelmed by having a list of 20 and trying to keep track of all those. You may even want to narrow it down to 1 or 2 and just try to rank for 1 or 2 of those keywords and see how those work out for you, and then add additional keywords once you get a couple keywords ranked pretty well. So we just went over the second level of what you need to have in this pyramid as SEO, having your site found in the search engine. Okay, if you get that, you have one listing in the search engine. So the next thing that I would like to go over is the next level of this pyramid, and that is the maps, the map listings. This is also, your local directories. If you actually rank, in Google Local, you create an account in Google Local, and when you type in, for a local service, Google likes to give you local listings. And if you could get your profile in there and have it ranked, you could have up to 2 listings in one Google search on one page. And, you're doubling your odds of getting, your phone, getting the customer to call you. And you want to create a Google Local account. That's probably the first one you need to focus on, because when someone does a Google search, you can rank higher in the Google Local account, in the Google listings. The next one you need to go for is Yelp. When people look for a company on their iPhone or their iPad or any Apple products, they sometimes go to the Map app that's in there, or they'll even ask Siri to ask, for a local business around them, and the information that pulls from is Yelp. So you need to make sure you have your company listed in Yelp, and you'll be able to pull up, on all those people that use iPhones and iPads, and you'll be able to get more business, because not many people even talk about Yelp and the reason you need to be in Yelp. So you may have a good chance of being one of the only plumbers in your town to actually be in Yelp and be able to rank and get all those businesses with people on their iPhones or iPads. There's a couple others that you could go through, Yahoo Local, Bing Local. You could go to Angie's List. You could also get do just a Google search of maybe local plumbing directories, and all the ones that pull up have a profile in all those, because having a profile in those will create a backlink to your website, which helps your SEO, your search engine optimization, which in turn just helps your website rank higher by having your profile in all these different local directories. You'll be able to rank higher on your website just by doing that. I would suggest also on your local directories and local profiles that you fill out your profile completely. And if they allow you to upload photos, upload as many as you can. And in the photos that you would upload, you could have your actual team and maybe a picture of you as the plumber, or maybe some of the jobs you guys have done. That looks better to a customer or prospect than having just generic stock photography that you get off Google or just the internet somewhere. It resonates with people, that they actually see the face behind, this website or this, phone number. So, also when you upload these files, those keywords that you have a list of, start naming those files on your computer, those keywords. And when you upload it to this site, that those keywords are going to help that local directory rank higher for those keywords. So, and many times these local directories will let you fill out like captions, like a description of this picture. Use some of your keywords in like a sentence form to help with your SEO, getting it ranked higher. Okay, so now that we just went over maps and having, up to 2 listings in the Google rankings, on a Google page when someone does a search for, plumbing services. One thing that you see at the very top and sometimes the right-hand side is Google Ads. And this is often referred to as PPC, which is the next level of our pyramid. And PPC, what it stands for, is an acronym again for pay per click. And that means that when you create this ad, which you can do in Google AdWords, just do a Google search and you'll be able to fill out, create a profile and do it from there. What that means is when you have this ad and someone clicks on it, you only pay when someone clicks on your ad. So, you could have it listed up there. If nobody clicks your ad, you're not out any money. So what this really does, this is really great, is you only pay for people that are at least interested enough to click your ad. So this is unlike any other form of advertising. You really have no guarantee of any prospects. Like the phone book, if there's no way that they can guarantee that you will get, prospects to give you a call or at least check you out. But with Google AdWords or pay-per-click, you're guaranteed that, or you don't get charged any money. You only get charged when someone clicks that ad, and hence the term pay-per-click. You can check in your different cities, and different cities and different keywords that you look for is going to have a different price tag on it, and you'll be able to maybe only be out $5 per click, and that click may actually turn into a phone call, and most likely that $5 is going to be well worth it for the phone call that you'll be doing their plumbing. So, and another great thing about having a paid ad is if we have our SEO, we have one listing in the Google search. If we have a map listing in Google Local, that creates us 2 listings, so which doubles our odds of getting the phone call. But if we have a paid ad also in the search engine, that gives us 3 different listings, bettering our odds 3 times to get the phone call. And that is just going to help you drastically above your competition. Maybe your competition may only have 1 and at most probably 2. But if you have 3, you're going to, outrank them, and you're going to have most of the customers. You're going to be able to dominate your area because you have 3 listings, and the customer, they see you 3 times on one page. You're going to most likely get the call. Moving on to the next level of our pyramid is social. This is, social media, creating profiles on these different social media platforms. One major one that comes to mind every time someone thinks about or says social media, you think of Facebook. And it's good to have a Facebook page, but like I have this whole level at the top of the pyramid, it's not the most important thing. A lot of people like to say, social media, it's super important. You need to have it. You need to focus more on your social media than other areas. That's not the case. You need to, give it some attention, but you don't need to give it more attention than your website and having your website ranked. A lot of people don't like to go on Facebook to be sold to, so that's one reason that. And if someone needs a plumber, most likely they're not going to go into Facebook and search for a plumber to actually give them a call. And having a profile in each area, such as Facebook, LinkedIn is one good one to have, and Twitter and all those others. Those give you backlinks back to your website, which helps your website rank higher, which is great. That's actually going back to the most fundamental thing is getting your website found. So creating a presence in each one of these is not a bad idea. It's good to have active profiles, so you can also tell your existing customers to like and keep up to date with you by following you on these different social platforms. One good one in the social part is having YouTube videos. YouTube videos is awesome for your SEO, getting your site ranked, and also YouTube is the second most searched engine in the world. So having your videos there is not a bad idea. Ranking for your keywords, your list of keywords that we talked about. So you want to have a YouTube profile and a YouTube channel and upload videos based on your keywords, and also selling, your services. Also create a YouTube video and put it on the homepage of your website, and thanking the customer for visiting your website, and tell them what makes you different than your competitors and why they should give you a call. That's going to help actually get a prospect into a customer, is by selling them and giving them a video and a face behind it. And I would have one of your team members do the video, and having these, it's going to help you in the long run as keeping up to date with existing customers, having the backlinks in there, also having your YouTube videos. And Google also, they love social media, and they even said with this past SEO update that they had, the Hummingbird update, they said they're wanting to rank sites that are more social and content that is being shared and easily shareable. Those are the sites that Google wants to rank. So you do want to have all these social media platforms, and you want to keep them active, to keep existing clients, to keep at top of mind of them. And also, you could gain a few customers by having these. So it's a good idea to have social media in your marketing mix. But like I said, it's at the top. Once you have all the fundamentals taken care of, that's when you need to focus on social media. But not until then. You don't need to do this first. You need to do this last. One of the last things. And once you have all that taken care of, then go ahead and take care of your social media platforms, and you'll be doing good. Well, that sums up this podcast, episode 1. I will be updating this podcast show constantly. I'm hoping every week I'll have new content on here. I also have, I have big plans for this podcast. I'd like to, interview some top plumbing companies and get some tips on what they've done to get successful, and be able to share with you on what, other plumbing companies should do. I'll do some interviews with some of the most influential internet marketing guys that I've met and known, and I've seen that they've had great success. I'll be interviewing them and talking with them and seeing what their tips for you guys would be. Also, I'll be going over tips and strategies every week with you guys on new things that I think you should know and talk about. So I think this wraps it up. So thank you for listening to this podcast, and please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
You've been listening to the Plumbing Marketing Guy podcast. If you are interested in learning more about how to throw a wrench into the competition, then go to plumbingmarketingguy.com. There you'll be able to find more ways to market your plumbing business and make more money. Till next time, this is the Plumbing Marketing Guy signing off.